If you disagree with me, do so with data and not just one or two variables, because if you're only looking at one or two variables in an economic big picture, you're missing the big picture. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. We're affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is April 28th, 2025, and this is the Numbers and the Nuance. This is where you come weekly in order to know exactly what Utah's housing market looks like right now. So I'm going to tell you what I take away from looking at the data that I see every week, and then I'll show you the charts that I make so you can see the trends of the variables I'm tracking over time. Make your own decision for yourself. And if you're not sure what any of the data I'm going over means, then because I'm trying to make these videos wrap up a little bit quicker, I've made a separate video that goes over each of these variables and explains clearly what it means for a buyer or a seller when that variable is trending up or trending down. So let's look at Utah's housing market right now. Friends, Utah's housing market looks pretty much as it has, continuing the same trends it has since the very beginning of this year. That is to say that inventory continues to trend up. The amount of time it takes for homes to get under contract is coming down. The average list price of Utah homes is very moderately trending down. The number of homes sold every week and the number of homes currently under contract at any given time is trending up. The number of price reductions of the homes on the market on any given week is trending up at the same time that the evidence of seller confidence in the market is trending up. And interest rates, while there have been times when they have seemed very volatile, really that came to a 1 week issue of instability that is now on pause, and interest rates have been very moderately, very slowly coming down since the beginning of the year as well. Now I know that news media doesn't seem to paint this story, that things are going well for Utah's housing market. That doesn't seem to be painted across the sky. And so for anyone listening to me talk about Utah's housing market right now, if you are confused, just wait until I show you the data and read the data for yourself. If you disagree with me, do so with data and not just one or two variables, because if you're only looking at one or two variables in an economic big picture, you're missing the big picture. That's why I consistently talk about 11 and show you the trends for 9. Let's look at that data right now. Okay friends, here's where things are in the Utah housing market as of April 28th, 2025. Our current inventory stands at 11,641. That is up from the prior week, continuing its uptrend. Last week, the average days on market came to 50. That is down relatively significantly from last week. This is trending down, as you can see. Last week's average list price came to $680,044. Up a bit from the previous week, definitely still continuing the slight downward trend. Now last week's average sold price came to $680,942. And so the difference this last week between average list price and average sold price came in the seller's favor to the tune of $898. So those two numbers, what homes last week were listed at on average and what homes last week were sold at on average, were actually very close. That's the closest I've seen them. Importantly, last week's median sold price came to $501,000. $180,000 difference between what the average is and what more people are experiencing. Last week, the number of homes sold in Utah came to 567, which is down from the previous week. We still see this trending up. The number of homes currently under contract comes to 5,611, definitely continuing the uptrend there. Last week, the number of price reductions that we had on homes that were active on the market came to 1,303. That is another step up from the previous week. We see this very clearly trending up. The prior week's number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn from the MLS came to 295. That is up from the previous week and still trending down. And finally, interest rates right now stand at 6.84%, which is down 0.1% from the previous Monday. And that's it for the numbers today. If you have any questions about the numbers that I laid out, how I get them, or what they mean, feel free to hit me in the comments. I'm going to be happy to respond. If you or anybody else is thinking to move here in Utah, either buy or sell a home or both in the coming months, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me. I'm going to be comfortable hearing from you, happy to hear from you, and happy to help. I want to make sure my clients are always educated on the right now market. I want to make sure that they know what they're signing, and I want to make sure they always know what's coming up next as you're working with me to get your home either sold or purchased. Of course, if you want to keep your head wrapped around Utah's housing market, you will not find a better way than to hit that subscribe and stay up on it with me from week to week. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.